Hello folks, I'm Alex and I make fishing videos, and today I want to make a simple video about how you can catch more fish. Just some simple tips that has helped me a lot, and I hope that it will help you not have skunk trips as often as might happen, especially when you learn fishing. So let's see. Okay, so my first tip is to use small lures and light gears. I think many people start fishing with a mid-size equipment, and then they have lures that are too big for a lot of the fish that are in the water where the people are fishing, and they have gear that don't really give enough sensitivity to use small lures, because of course there are many more small fish in any water body than there are big fish. So if you use small lures, there are many more fish in the water that will be willing to bite your bait, because you can catch big fish on small lures, but it's very hard to catch small fish on big lures, even if it does happen. So using small lures is the most important aspect, I think, and combining small lures with ultralight gear like this that I have right here. And with the smaller, it doesn't have to be only jigs, like this little soft plastic that I'm fishing with today, but any smaller. But typically I think jigs are great, also small spinners, spoons, and crankbaits. The second tip that I have is actually what I did just now. I made a few casts in a spot. I had no contact, so then I just moved a few meters, and I will try a few casts here as well. So if you come to spot, you cover it with a few casts and nothing happens, then there might be fish there, but they might not be in the feeding mood, because typically fish are not actively feeding. So by moving, we instead look for feeding fish, which will be much easier to trick into striking. So now I have taken some casts here. I will take one more, and then I will move on again. And changing a spot doesn't have to mean that you walk far or move far at all. Many times it's just enough to move far enough so that you couldn't reach the last spot where you were casting. So 2 casting distances away, basically. Oh, missed one. So here I found the fish instantly, first cast, and I had a bite. And being able to move quite a lot, it is connected to fishing spots or bodies of water that are easily accessible. And I think that's another very important aspect to catch more fish. I think it's common to go to a lake or a pond that maybe has one spot that is very accessible, and then people go there and they stand there the whole day and they don't catch anything, and they think the whole pond maybe or lake is bad, but maybe it's just because they were not standing in the right space. But it's hard maybe to go around the lake if there's a lot of vegetation or properties, etc. This canal, for example, is great because I can just walk along the bank, very efficiently cover a lot of space without having the need to have a boat, because that is too expensive for me. Oh, I missed one again. Okay, so the fish is definitely here. So look for bodies of water that allows you to stay on the move, so you can find the fish. That's there we go. There we go. Little perch. Let's see if I can just. Oh, hey. Beautiful little creature. Yeah. And let's I want to talk about two more key aspects. One of them is using actually pretty cheap lures. Using cheap lures doesn't mean that they have to be bad. Especially for small fish like this, the technicality of the lure is not very often so crucial. You can use very simple small soft plastics just on a cheap little jig head and it will catch fish. By using cheap lures that you don't really like, you're okay if you lose the lure, then you will dare to throw all the way up into or under trees or really close to that brush, or allow it to go all the way to the bottom. And it will allow you to fish more freely and a lot more effective. And it's common that it's such things that will really make a difference in how much fish you catch. There we go. Oh, came off. Oh well. Let's see if another one wants to bite. This is also a good point. So after hooking up a fish like that in a spot, there will typically be more fish nearby, but there is a chance that the fish that I hooked spooked the other ones. So after a thing like this, I usually take a few casts just to see, will I get another reaction? If I don't get a reaction in just a few casts, then I suspect that school has been split up. The fish are a little bit spooked, and I think it's better to give the spot a little moment to relax for 10-15 minutes. But then it can be a very good idea to come back to it, because the fish will stay close. They just need a little bit of time to regroup and collect themselves. There we go. Oh, same size, like brothers. Another beautiful little perch that's gonna go back to freedom. And now I caught a fish. Same thing goes. I'll take a few more casts because I suspect that more fish are close. But again, they might have been spooked by that fish that I caught, so I will not get stuck here. Give it a few casts, then if nothing happens, I'll move on, let this place relax. But now I know fish are in this area, and I will typically come back later if I have the time to do so. If you find something like this, it's always worth giving it a try. But don't walk out on it immediately, because the fish will typically feel the vibrations of you walking out of that platform. Or if it's a jetty or something similar, it's often a much better idea to start from the bank and try to throw along it for the first few casts. There, oh, missed it again. There's almost always fish because they love the cover, the protection that they can find standing under that platform, and they can move around it to hunt, but they know that if they get scared, they can just swim back there and hide. Oh, they are right in front of my feet here. I could actually see them. They're Woof! I think they might have followed the bait in, and then I have lifted it up before, but they stayed right in front of my feet. So I just saw something glimmer down there. Could just pop it down and get a nice bite. Okay, we will make a few finishing casts. And just to recap, I have been able to catch some fish. I've lost a few, but that's okay. I think often the beauty is just getting that strike and seeing the fish. following these like tips or principles that I've talked about in the beginning of the video, I've managed to get those strikes, catching those fish using light gear, small lure that is also cheap, so I've not been afraid of casting it in good spots, and I've stayed on the move, because in many times I made a little move, and in the first few casts on a new spot I get contact and I might get a fish or two, and then see, like just like now, second cast in this little spot, again I lost it, but a bite. Typically these fish, if they are there and they are somewhat in the mood, they will react pretty quick. So by staying on the move, I think I've greatly increased the amount of hookups, the amount of bites that I've gotten. Instead, if I would have stayed in that same spot the whole morning. Now, since I know that I will release all these fish, I am fishing. Oh, one more. I am fishing barbless, and that's the reason why I'm losing a lot more fish than with a barb. But for me, it just is much more convenient being able to unhook the fish fast and lose a few more. What do you think? Last little guy of this video, I'm pretty sure. Let's put him back. Whoop. Yeah, I think that's a nice ending. Okay, that's it for today's video. I hope that these tips can help you to catch some more fish and not get skunked when you're out fishing. I'll link some of the gear that I use below if you're looking for an ultralight kit. This is a fairly cheap one, so it's nice. I use it as my backpack rod usually because it folds in 4. And let me know if there are any other videos that you want to see. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Tight lines, everyone.